Help me reach 5,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I'm sitting at the kitchen counter, nursing a black coffee that's gone cold, staring at the half-eaten toast Sarah left on her plate. She didn't even look at me this morning. Just grabbed her purse, muttered something about a meeting, and walked out. The door didn't slam. Sarah doesn't do that. She just lets it click shut, like she's sealing off a room I'm not allowed in anymore. That's how it's been for weeks. Cold. Distant. Like I'm a tenant who's late on rent, not her husband of 8 years. It started small. A missed dinner here, a sharp comment there. I'd come home from the office, dog-tired from dealing with clients who think they know my job better than I do. And she'd be on her phone, scrolling, not even glancing up. Rough day. I'd ask, trying to bridge the gap. Same as yours, probably, she'd say, her voice flat, eyes still on the screen. I'd wait for more, but it never came. I kept telling myself it was stress, her promotion at the ad agency, the long hours, the pressure. I figured I'd give her space. Be the good guy. Keep the peace. Big mistake. If I'd known then what this was building to, I'd have drawn a line in the sand right there. But I didn't. I let it slide, thinking we'd work it out. That's what you do when you've built a life together, right? You try. You show up. You don't just walk away. Look, if I'd known how far this would go, I'd have saved myself months of grief. I thought it was just a rough patch. I didn't see the storm coming. It's a Thursday night, maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm grilling steaks in the backyard, the charcoal hissing as fat drips onto the coals. The evening air carries a chill, the scent of cut grass mixing with smoke. I've got the radio on low, some classic rock station because Sarah hates my jazz playlists. I'm thinking, maybe this'll be the night we talk. Really talk. Like we used to, before she started treating me like background noise. She comes out, glass of wine in hand, her hair pulled back in that tight bun she wears when she's in work mode. Smells good, she says, but it's not a compliment. It's just words, tossed out like loose change. I nod, flip the steaks, the sizzle filling the silence. Thought we could eat out here tonight. Nice weather. She sips her wine, doesn't look at me. Sure. Whatever. I grit my teeth, but keep it light. You want the ribeye or the sirloin? I got both. She shrugs, leaning against the patio table, her glass catching the fading sunlight. Does it matter? You'll pick for me anyway. I stop, tongs in hand, and look at her. What's that supposed to mean? Her lips curl, just enough to sting. Oh, come on, Mike. You always decide everything. The food, the plans, the thermostat. Don't pretend you don't. I set the tongs down, slow, deliberate, the metal clinking against the grill. I'm asking you what you want, Sarah. Right now? Pick a steak. She rolls her eyes, her voice sharp. Fine. Ribeye. Happy. I don't answer. Just plate the ribeye, the juices pooling under it, and slide it over. We eat in silence, the radio crackling with an old Springsteen tune. Halfway through, she pushes her plate away, barely touched. I'm not hungry, she says, standing. Got an early call tomorrow. Sarah, hold up. I lean back in my chair, wiping my hands on a napkin, the cloth rough against my fingers. What's going on? You've been like this for weeks. If something's wrong, say it. She pauses, one hand on the sliding door, her reflection faint in the glass. Nothing's wrong, Mike. I'm just tired. You should try it sometime. Actually working for a living. The jab lands hard. I'm a financial advisor, pulling 60-hour weeks to keep our mortgage paid and her car leased. But I don't bite. Not yet. All right. I reply, keeping my voice even. Get some rest then. She doesn't look back. The door slides shut with a soft thud, and I'm alone with the crickets and a half-eaten steak. I sit there a while, the air growing colder, the grill ticking as it cools. My phone's in my pocket, and I pull it out, call Tom, my buddy who owns a storage unit downtown. Hey man, I tell him when he picks up. Got any space opening up soon? Tom's voice is gravelly, like he's just woken up. Mike? Yeah, think I got one freeing up next month. What's up? You moving or something? Not sure yet. I answer, staring at Sarah's plate. Just thinking ahead. All right, I'll check the books tomorrow, he says. Let me know if you need it. I hang up, clear the table, and scrape the uneaten steak into the trash. The act feels final, like I'm cleaning up more than just dinner. A week later, we're at a barbecue at our neighbor's place, the Wilsons. Dave Wilson's a good guy, runs a construction business, always has a beer and a story ready. His wife, Karen, is chatty, maybe too much, but she's kind. The backyard's packed, kids chasing each other with water guns, music blasting from a Bluetooth speaker, the smell of burgers and sunscreen thick in the air. I'm trying to enjoy it, but Sarah's been on edge all day, snapping at me over nothing. How I loaded the dishwasher, how I parked the car too close to the curb. Small stuff, but it's piling up. We're standing by the cooler, and Dave hands me a beer, the bottle sweating in the summer heat. Mike, you gotta tell me about that fishing trip you took last month. Caught anything worth bragging about? I start to answer, but Sarah cuts in, her voice sharp enough to slice through the chatter. Oh, please. He caught a sunburn and a hangover. That's about it. A few people laugh, but it's awkward. A couple of neighbors glance at each other, their smiles faltering. Dave raises an eyebrow, tries to keep it light. Sounds like a good weekend to me. I take a sip of my beer, the cold bitterness grounding me. It was better than sitting at home scrolling Instagram. Her eyes narrow, but she doesn't miss a beat. At least I don't waste my weekends pretending I'm Hemingway. Karen, standing nearby, tries to defuse it, her voice bright but strained. Okay, you two, save the roast for the comedy club. She laughs, then lowers her voice, touching Sarah's arm. Sarah, you know Mike's just proud of his fishing stories. Let him have his moment. Sarah pulls her arm away, her smile tight. Sure, Karen. Let him have his glory. The crowd shifts uncomfortably. A guy by the grill pretends to focus on flipping burgers, but I catch him glancing our way. I set my beer down on the picnic table, slow and deliberate. Sarah, if you've got something to say, just say it. No need to put on a show. She crosses her arms, smirking. What? Can't take a joke. You're so sensitive lately. Funny. I reply, my voice steady. I thought jokes were supposed to be funny. Dave clears his throat, changes the subject to the Seahawks game, and the tension eases, but only slightly. The rest of the night, Sarah's glued to her phone or talking to Karen, acting like I'm not even there. I stick around, make small talk with a few neighbors, but my mind's elsewhere. Later, as the party winds down, Dave catches me by the garage, away from the crowd. You okay, man? He asks, his voice low. That got a little rough back there. I shrug, my jaw tight. Just another day. He nods, scratching the back of his neck. Look, I know it's not my place, but you and Sarah, you guys need to talk. For real. Yeah. I answer, but I'm not sure I mean it. Hey, you got a spare room at your place? Dave's eyes widen, but he doesn't push. Yeah, man, always. Why? You need a spot. Just planning ahead. I tell him, keeping it vague. He claps my shoulder, doesn't press further, but I can tell he's worried. That night, I don't sleep in our bed. I take the guest room. When Sarah notices, she doesn't say a word. Just gives me that look, like I'm the one being unreasonable. It's a Friday, and I'm in the garage, working on my old Mustang, a '67 that's been my refuge for years. The smell of oil and metal fills the air, the only thing keeping me sane these days. Sarah's been ramping it up, ignoring me at home, making plans without telling me, dropping comments that cut deeper each time. Last night, she told me I better not embarrass her at her work gala next week. No context, just a demand, like I'm some kid who needs a leash. I'm tightening a bolt when she walks in, her heels clicking on the concrete. We need to talk, she says, arms crossed. I don't look up, my hands steady on the wrench. Go ahead. I'm listening. She sighs, like I'm already wasting her time. I'm going out with the girls tomorrow night. Don't wait up. I set the wrench down, wipe my hands on a rag, the grease smearing into the cloth. You've been out every weekend this month. What's the deal? Her laugh is sharp, like glass breaking. The deal? I need a break, Mike, from this. She waves her hand, like the garage, the car, me. Everything's just one big inconvenience. I stand, leaning against the workbench, the wood cool under my palms. A break from what exactly? Me cooking dinner? Paying the bills? Or just existing in your space? She rolls her eyes. Don't make this about you. I'm allowed to have a life. I nod, slow, letting her words hang. Sure, you've got a life, and I've got mine. So here's the deal. I'm done playing waiter. You want to go out, fine. But don't expect me to sit here warming up your leftovers. Her face hardens. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm done chasing you, Sarah. I tell her, my voice firm. You want space? You've got it. I'm taking the weekend for myself. She laughs again, but it's nervous now. Oh, really? What? You're gonna go fishing again? Or sit in a bar with your old pals? I pick up the wrench, turn back to the car, the metal cool in my hand. You'll find out when you get back. She stands there for a second, expecting me to back down. I don't. Finally, she hurries out, muttering something about me being impossible. I don't respond. Instead, I text Tom. That storage unit's still open? He replies quick. Yours if you want it, man. Just say the word. I tell him to hold it for me. That night, I pack a bag for myself. Not everything, just enough for a few days. I leave it in the trunk of my car, the zipper's rasp echoing in the quiet garage. I'm not leaving yet, but I'm ready. Sarah doesn't notice. She's too busy planning her night out. It's Saturday morning, and I'm at the coffee shop down the street, meeting my old friend Nate. He's a lawyer, sharp as a tack, always calls it like he sees it. The place smells of roasted beans and fresh pastries, and I'm stirring my coffee, watching the steam curl. I tell Nate what's been going on. Not the whole story, just the highlights. He listens, sipping his espresso, his eyes narrowing as I talk. When I finish, he leans back, setting his cup down with a clink. Sounds like she's testing you, man. Seeing how far she can push before you push back. But you gotta ask yourself, what's your line? You can't just keep taking hits. I nod, my spoon clinking against the mug. She's about to find out. He raises an eyebrow, leaning forward. You got a plan? Because walking away's one thing, but you've got 8 years tied up in this. House, cars, memories. You sure you're ready to cut that loose? Working on it. I reply, my voice steady but heavy. But I'm done waiting for her to figure out what respect looks like. Nate nods, his eyes locked on mine. Just don't let her drag you into a game you can't win. You're better than that. When I get home, Sarah's in the living room, folding clothes into a small suitcase. She doesn't look up. I'm heading out with the girls tonight, she says, like it's a done deal. Might stay over at Jen's. I lean against the doorframe, watching her pack with quick, sharp movements. I'm tired of this dance, but I try one last time. Sounds fun. How about tomorrow? Been a while since we did something together. Maybe a drive up the coast, just us. She snorts, zipping up the suitcase, the sound harsh in the quiet room. Us? Mike, come on. I've got better company lined up. Don't strain yourself. The words hit like a brick, raw and deliberate. I clench my fist, but my face stays calm. I've been waiting for something this blatant. Something I can't ignore. I cross my arms. Better company, huh? That's real clear, Sarah. She freezes, her hand on the suitcase handle, realizing she's crossed a line. It was a joke, Mike. Goodness, you're so serious. A joke. The word breaks something in me. I'm done. I step past her, up the stairs to our bedroom, and grab her larger suitcase from the closet. The wheels scrape the hardwood as I drag it down. She follows, her voice rising. What are you doing? I don't answer. I open her dresser, start pulling out clothes, her favorite sweaters, her work blouses, the scarf she wore on our first date. I stuff them in, not neatly, just enough to fill it. She's at the door now, her eyes wide. Mike, stop it. What's wrong with you? I zip the suitcase, haul it to the front door, and set it down with a thud. Then I grab her smaller bag from the living room, toss it next to it. I pull out my phone, call a taxi, pre-booked earlier, just in case. The clock on the wall says it's been less than 2 hours since I got home. I turn to her, my voice cold, steady. Don't strain yourself, Sarah. Your company's waiting. Better hurry. She stares at the suitcases, her face paling. Honey, it was just a joke, she pleads, her voice cracking, hands reaching for me. I didn't mean it. You don't have to do this. I step back, out of reach. Karen's on the porch, holding a bag of groceries for us, her eyes wide through the open door. The taxi pulls up, its engine rumbling, the driver glancing at the house. Sarah's voice breaks. Mike, please. Let's talk. I'm sorry. You've said enough. I cut her off, pointing to the suitcases. Your ride's here. Go. She hesitates, tears streaming, then grabs the suitcases, the wheels rattling as she drags them to the driveway. Karen steps back, her mouth half open, watching Sarah stumble toward the taxi. The driver loads her bags, his face neutral but his eyes flicking to the scene. Sarah turns back, her voice a sob. Mike, don't do this. I stand in the doorway, my heart pounding but my resolve iron. You made your choice, I tell her. The taxi door slams, and it pulls away, her silhouette shrinking in the rear window. Karen's still there, her groceries forgotten, staring at me. I nod to her, turn back inside, and lock the door. The house feels bigger, quieter. Mine. Sarah's blowing up my phone for days. Texts, voicemails. I didn't mean it. You're overreacting. Let's talk. I don't respond. I'm done talking to someone who only hears herself. I'm still in the house, sleeping in our bed, my bed now. Days at the office are long, crunching numbers, landing clients. Nights are at a friend's shop, working on the Mustang, the hum of tools drowning out the noise in my head. One evening, I'm at the shop, tweaking the carburetor, when Karen stops by. She's dropping off tools for Dave, her bracelets jangling as she leans against the workbench. You're still here, she says, her voice cautious. That scene with Sarah? Mike, I've never seen anything like it. You okay? I keep my eyes on the carburetor, the metal cool under my fingers. Getting there. She hesitates, then lowers her voice. Sarah came by our place, a total wreck. Staying at Jen's now, I guess. She keeps saying the company comment was a joke, that you overreacted. But I saw her face when she dragged those suitcases out. She was humiliated. She had plenty to say before. I reply, setting the wrench down. Didn't care how it landed then. Karen sighs, crossing her arms. I know she was tough on you. I was there, saw the taxi, the neighbors peeking out their windows. She's mortified, Mike. Said work's been crushing her, and she took it out on you. Maybe she didn't know how to handle it. Stress isn't an excuse for treating me like a doormat. I tell her, wiping my hands on a rag, the grease smearing. She wanted better company? She's got it now. Karen's eyes soften, but she's conflicted. You're right to be mad. But 8 years, Mike. That's a lot to let go. Maybe give her a chance to make it right. Some things don't get fixed, I answer, leaning back against the workbench. Not when someone shows you who they are. The image of her suitcases rattling down the driveway flashes in my mind. She made her choice. She nods, pats my shoulder, and leaves, her footsteps fading into the shop's hum. Later that night, I meet Nate for a beer at a quiet bar. He's heard about the taxi scene. Word travels fast. You called a cab and kicked her out? He asks, half grinning, half concerned. That's cold, man. Bold, but cold. You sure you're covered legally? Let her try. I shrug, sipping my beer. I'm done playing her game. Nate leans forward, his lawyer voice kicking in. Just be smart. You've got the house, the assets. If she pushes, you need a plan. But that move? I'd have done the same after that Better Company line. The next day, Dave stops by the house, a toolbox in hand. Heard about Saturday, he says, setting it down. You sticking around here? I can help change the locks if you want. Make it official. I nod, grateful. Yeah, let's do it. This place is mine now. We spend the afternoon swapping out the locks. The click of the new deadbolt a quiet victory. Alone that night, the house feels different. Empty, but not heavy. I'm free, but it's a strange freedom, like a room stripped bare. It's a Tuesday, 2 weeks after the taxi scene. I'm at the house, grabbing some paperwork from my office desk. The place is mine now, new locks, my Mustang tools moved to the shop, my clothes spread out in the closet. Sarah shows up, her key useless against the new deadbolt. She knocks, her face pale through the window, her hair loose and messy, not the tight bun she used to wear. I open the door, and she steps in, her eyes darting to the boxes by the door, her remaining clothes, books, and trinkets, packed and ready to go. Mike, can we talk? She asks, her voice shaky, hands twisting together. I grab the files, my movements quick. 5 minutes, I reply, keeping my voice flat. Her voice cracks. I messed up. I know that. I said things I didn't mean. Remember our trip to the coast? We stayed up all night, laughing, burning marshmallows. I want that back. I want our home back. Please, can we start over? I set the files down, my chest tight with the memory, her smile in the firelight, the salt air on our skin. It's another life. Start over. I remind her, my tone hard. You spent months telling me I'm not enough. You wanted better company. I gave you what you asked for. Her face crumples, but she pushes on, her voice rising. It was a joke, Mike. You're blowing this out of proportion. I didn't mean it. The company comment, any of it. I laugh, short and sharp, the sound echoing in the quiet kitchen. Joking, I cut her off. Like when you called me a glorified accountant who can't take a hint. Real comedy gold. She steps closer, reaching for my arm, her fingers trembling. Mike, please. I'm sorry. I was drowning at work, and I took it out on you. I'll do better. Therapy, anything. I can't lose this house, our life. You already did. I tell her, stepping back, her touch falling away. You don't get to keep the life you mocked. Karen knocks on the open door, holding a casserole dish, her face awkward. Just dropping this off, she says, but her eyes flick to the boxes, Sarah's red face. She knows. Sarah's cheeks flush deeper, her control slipping in front of her friend. Sarah grabs my sleeve, desperate. You're throwing away 8 years? Just like that. I pull free, look her dead in the eye. You threw it away. I left it there, pointing to the boxes. Take your stuff. You don't live here anymore. She sobs, grabbing a box, her hands shaking. Karen steps back, her casserole dish clutched tight, watching Sarah stumble to her car with the first box. I close the door, the lock clicking shut. I drive to the realtor's office later, a small place downtown with flickering fluorescent lights. The realtor, Greg, hands me papers to put the house up for sale. Good market, he says, tapping the forms. You sure about this? I nod, signing my name, the pen scratching against the page. Yeah, it's time. I'm staying in the house for now, but it's temporary. I'll find a new place soon, something smaller, mine alone. No echoes of her voice, no half-eaten plates, no cold shoulders. That night, I sit on the couch, crack open a beer. The silence isn't heavy anymore. It's just mine. It's been 3 months. I'm still in the house while it's on the market, but I've got a new apartment lined up, a 1-bedroom downtown, close to the office. The Mustang's running smoother than ever. I've been putting in hours at the shop, and it shows. Works good, too. I landed a big client last week, the commission enough for a vacation. Maybe I'll go fishing again. No sunburn this time. Sarah's calls have stopped. Last I heard, she's in a cheap rental downtown, a cramped studio she can barely afford. The house payments were too much without me, and she had to let it go. Dave says she's been asking about me, but I don't care. She wanted control, wanted to call the shots, wanted to make me feel small. She got none of it. The house, the comfort, the life she took for granted, it's gone, and the neighbors know it. Karen says Sarah's been quiet at socials. No more flashy Instagram posts. Just her, alone, starting over. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not sad. I'm just free. And that's more than enough. I appreciate you being here. If the story made you feel something, drop a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more. Every bit of support helps me keep going and bring you new stories.